Ladies and gentlemen, well, the rumor mill is kicking off and kicking on. So, this one, I don't even feel like I have to give a source for this because it seemed like all the news sources are reporting this. So, we're just going to use a blanket term. The news, the rumors, the rumor mill reports that Hansi Flick and Bayern, well, Bayern can't decide whether they want Hansi Flick to stay or not. And the source for all this quote-unquote drama, or more so confusion, stems from the fact that Hansi Flick, he personally wants to be assured more power, bigger say when it comes to transfers, so have a final say when it comes to transfers, whereas Bayern, they kind of want to keep the same model they've had for forever, I would say. I feel like it's been that way since I started watching football, that they've had this model where like it's the club that buys the players, it's the club that finds the players, and the coach will have to adjust to the players that were brought in. And that's essentially, what Hansi Flick wants to change. He wants to be given the ability to have a say. I mean, the coaches do always have a say. That's always been the case. And a coach can go, okay, I want this player, and then the club will look at that player and think, okay, is that player feasible? Is he a good fit for the team? If yes, they'll go out and get him. But in this case, Hansi Flick wants to have a bigger role in it, where he can basically veto a transfer. So, for example, if the club wants, give me an example. If the club wants Sané, because we're linked to him, it's the first name that comes to my mind. If the club wants Sané and the coach says, currently, and the coach says no, the coach's words won't have any effect. But Hansi Flick wants to have the power where if he says no, the answer is a solid, firm no. Now, this one is quite interesting to me because it has less so to do with like a transfer targets, but more so a coaching power. And I feel like it's a good thing for coaches to have that kind of power, but I also feel like there should be a limit, because otherwise you're going to have a coach, someone like Klinsmann comes to mind, for example, where like it's just wrong players, a wrong time, he wants different players, and it's just not going to work, and there's just a break between the coaching staff and the upper management, and ultimately you kind of need that harmony with both sides, and that's not really happening. That wouldn't really be working, because if one person, if the person that's, I guess, lower on the food chain has more power in a certain aspect than someone higher on the food chain, it will lead to some confrontational issues. So I find it a very strange topic. I find it a very interesting topic though as well. Ultimately, I see both sides of the thing. Again, the management having the final say basically puts the responsibility on them to find suitable players, which I think is good, because then the coach can primarily focus on his own team and analysing the future matches ahead. But like a coach having that kind of ability as well, it's just good for him as well, because then he can get players that he wants. Again, he can recommend players as of right now. He can recommend players to the board and say, yeah, you know what? A famous example comes to mind, Thiago Ranix. Pep Guardiola once famously said that he wants Thiago or nothing, and guess what? We got Thiago for him. So on the other hand, though, he wanted Neymar, and we didn't get Neymar for him, and instead got Götze for him. Just thinking back of those times. But yeah, another example, obviously, Javi Martinez comes to mind as well. So there are a lot of players, there are a lot of situations like that where we have seen the coaches, verbally speak out that, what, I want that player, and maybe that's always been the verbal tactic to, get the club to act, which is why we don't really see it so much, quote unquote, secretly hidden. But hey, what do you all think, ladies and gentlemen? Should the coach, Hansi Flick, if he were to stay, should he get more power, or should it be the same as it has always been? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section down below. I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out, and